voters. Like,
all right now.
We have a lot of work to do.
Well, that is so true. And Daryl, we're also blessed to have with us one of this nation's most amazing leaders. I mean, she has never, ever backed down from a struggle. She has been just an amazing, wonderful fighter, and I just love her to death. I'm talking about none other than Donna Gutman. Donna Gutman lives in the wonderful Chicago area. She serves on the board of directors for Chicago Women Take Action. You heard me, Chicago Women Take Action. Not sit back, but take action. Which is a civic organization that often collaborates with groups like the League of Women Voters of Chicago, Indivisible, Rainbow Push, so many other League of Women Voters, so many other groups. We are just so happy to have you, Donna, because you are a shining light. You give so much inspiration to so many people, and you never stop. Thank you for joining us on today's Igniting Change. Hi, Donna.
Hi, thank you for having me. That's quite the introduction. I'm thrilled to be here and follow these amazing trailblazers who have never given up the fight. So I'm very excited to be here, and I'm so happy to be one of your side by side women. So thank you, Barbara.
Oh, absolutely. And Daryl, at this point we've covered so much, but I have to ask Mr. Cox one question, because Mr. Cox, I never had the pleasure in my lifetime of meeting Ella Baker. I've read, Barbara Ransby's amazing book on her life and her fight to create SNCC and to stay in the background, to let the young people lead, and so many other things. Tell me, just tell this audience and all of us, what was it like to work with Ella Baker?
Well, first of all, I must say that this country owes Ella Baker a great debt. And one of the things that we need to understand is that Ella Baker was a woman who, in fact, was in charge of field operation for the NAACP at one point. And from that position, she built a trust of a group of people, of NAACP leaders across the South, like, Amzie Moore and people that whether you're in Alabama, they were in Tennessee and Arkansas. And she was the person that was really, it's very difficult for a woman to be, a leader in an environment, whether it was black or white. And so while she was very important in terms of the movement at that time, all her value, whether she worked at SCLC with Martin Luther King when we met her, whether she was at the NAACP, with all the other things, she did not get the kind of respect she deserved. But what was important, and most important for her, is that she built a network of people that people trusted. So one of the things that was very important for us working with Ms. Baker is that when we went, as I guess we were 19, 20, 21 years old, when Ms. Baker said to Amzie Moore or to Mr. Turnbull or to Steptoe, all these people across the South, I want you to work with these people I'm introducing. Ella Baker's word was good as gold. I mean, that was the important thing, that she was probably the most trusted messenger. She was the person that everybody trusted. But the important thing about Ms. Baker, one of the things she told us, and we remember it, very important in today's thing, strong people don't need strong leaders. Strong people don't need strong leaders. And therefore, with the most important thing that we could be doing with our time, with our energy, is working with the communities to make them informed, to make them strong, to make them feel that they're responsible for their own lives, so we don't wind up with the kind of mess that we have today.
My. And Daryl, let me just ask one more question for Courtland Cox. Tomorrow will be the 12th anniversary of the nefarious, horrifically wrong-headed and just destructive decision in Shelby versus Holder from the Supreme Court that has, gutted what was the pre-clearance provisions that basically told jurisdictions throughout the country that when it came to election laws, procedures, and practices, that you couldn't do anything if it appeared that it was going to be discriminatory. So the Department of Justice had to review it in advance. The courts could review it in advance. We could object to anything that we thought was bad before it was implemented. Well, the court said, nah. Can't do that anymore. You got to show a smoking gun of racial discrimination before we can allow these provisions to apply to the southern jurisdictions and, of course, some northern and one western jurisdiction. When you look at that anniversary, 12 years of the nothing from Congress, 12 years of just destructive voter suppression that has ruined the rights for millions to vote. What do you want to say about this anniversary? Because we're going to have a program tomorrow night at 7:00 p.m., everybody. Go to goodtroubleliveson.org to register, goodtroubleliveson.org. Become part of this program tomorrow night. So what do you want to say, Mr. Cox, to everybody throughout this country about this particular anniversary? What lesson do we take from it? How do we move forward?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we have to understand is that, that case was not an accident or just, a few justices in the Supreme Court. This is part of the ongoing fight that we have, and will continue to have. And the justice system is just as part of what we have to engage in and the struggle we have to engage in as anything else. And my sense is one of the things that is hard for us to realize is what we see as the problem. We saw Shelby as the problem, but MAGA saw that as a solution. And we've got to understand that we have got to now put a Supreme Court back on the bench that will reverse that, will recognize that. So part of our continuing struggle, whether what we're doing on July 17th or what ongoing, we need to make sure that all of these things are understood, that they're all part of the same fight, that Shelby is not different by the question of whether you're able to have, Medicaid, whether you have, food stamps, whether you have to have that, because a group of people feel that, in fact, if they don't use it, and if they don't need it, it should not exist. The country should not have it, and everything should be about them. And we need to make sure that we understand that the fight is about us, not about them. The fight is about the few and the many versus the many. So therefore, we, as the anniversary of Shelby, and Shelby cannot see in isolation. It has to be seen as the ongoing part of the ongoing struggle, and the Supreme Court and changes on the Supreme Court need to be part of that struggle.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, Daryl.
And Donna Gutman, in listening to what Mr. Cox is laying out, with regards to the responsibility really that everyone has to get out and make adjustments to things that we see that are wrong. The Supreme Court's made a decision, Barbara and I, well, let me speak for myself, we'll call it a boneheaded decision that they've made. But in order to correct the path of what they've done, it's going to take ordinary citizens to get out and to make their voices heard. John Lewis, once said that it's the responsibility of citizens of a democracy, that they have a responsibility to remain engaged and informed so they cannot be easily duped. So July 17th, Chicago, Illinois, can you tell folks why if they're on the fence and they're wondering what this Chicago, Illinois National Day of Action is all about, why they should come out and what they will encounter once they make it to Daly Plaza. Donna.
Well, they're going to encounter a lot of people, I will tell you that. The sign-up has been massive already, and we really haven't, done a ginormous campaign, which starts next week. But it is, everybody is fired up, ready to go. And this is a massive resistance. It's not just a ceremony we're holding; it's an action. And we're taking this action to courthouses, to public spaces. We're fighting for justice, for voting rights, for dignity, for righteousness. I mean, we are there to add value, and we want people to take that value wherever they go. So I think that we have a great coalition partners that we're working with of course, Transformative Justice Coalition, and we have Rainbow Push, who always brings a bandwagon of people. Bandwagon. I can't even begin to tell you where they pull people from, but they are rock stars of gathering. And we have League of Women Voters, and we have a very strong, indivisible component here in Chicago. So many different sections or chapters, and they're all coming together for this. So I expect that we are going to be very close to no kings when we have this down in the Daly Plaza. I would say Chicago had 100,000 people. I really don't know what the press said, but I was there. I saw the aerial views. I knew you couldn't move. And I know that we all had this same mantra: we're going to change the world, and we're not going to let it change us. So we're fired up. We're ready to go. We're ready. GoodTroubleLivesOn.org, and we're sending it out everywhere. So people know they need to sign up. They need to either, if they're out of the perimeter of Chicago, create your own events, get on your own streets. And we have so many suburbs, and we have so many activists here. So it's a pretty exciting moment to just have this momentum carry forward. And there's an expression, don't let a wishbone grow where a backbone should be. And that's what I tell people. Don't be looking at a wishbone. You better just get your backbone up, and we all need to have that. And I want to say one other thing. I'm part of a new Substack called the Red Lipstick Forum, and we are going to be talking a lot about this, about July 14th, and about everything we've been talking about here, and the context of it, and what we have to do, because we're bold, we're unapologetic, we encourage actions and empowerment to fight tyranny, lawlessness, cruelty, and this very aggressive administration is doing everything they can to take us back 50 years or so. So yeah, we're fired up, ready to go.
All right.
I love that. Barbara? Don't let a wishbone grow where a backbone should be.
Backbone should be. And we know there's too many people with no backbone in this country, but we have it, and we're going to instill it, and we're going to fight. Now, Daryl, what I want everybody to realize is that Chicago is our flagship event. As you heard me say when we started this show, I said we had 450 events. We got 460 as we've been meeting, just having this show today. People are signing up like crazy from all around the country. There are going to be events everywhere, almost in every one of the 50 states I've been able to see so far. People are organizing. We want events in every hamlet, every township, every city. We want you to turn up, turn out on July the 17th, the John Lewis National Day of Action, the Good Trouble Lives On Day. You can come after work. You can come. You can take the day off. Make it your own holiday. Let's do this, folks. We don't sit back. We don't let people dictate to us. We determine what this country must be. It must be about the people and not about these oligarchs, not about these wannabe dictators, not about these eugenics, white supremacists who think that everybody who is poor is not worthy of life. And I said everyone. They don't make a distinction. If you're poor and you're white, they think you shouldn't live. So don't get confused. You know, the white supremacists only go so far in their hatred. So when we look at this day,